how champions pick their fights. First, I want us to acknowledge the fact that champions are people like us, normal people like us. But what is different is how they choose their environment. Champions are normal people like us, but what you will find is that these people are the people who are very careful about who they allow into their life, because it's so true that the very closest people you have in your life will shape your thinking. So a champion's life surrounded by people who will have a positive impact into that kind of a life is very defining or descriptive of their environment, because your environment is not only just the place you live in, but it's also the people you are interacting with. It's also about the people you are living with. What kind of a language are you using with them? What kind of a language are you talking? The kind of things that you believe in. How do you relate to these people? So if a person is a champion, the first thing you will notice is how he is different in his beliefs, how he is different in how he is different in the way in which he thinks. You'll find that if you're not doing much, he has the same abilities that you have, but he is doing much. You'll have to dig deep into his mentality and find out what it is about him that makes him believe that he can do so much with the same abilities that you have also. To make an example, I want us to look at the nation that is in existence today. The nation between Syria, Jordan, and Egypt, namely Israel. That nation, when you look at its flag, it has a star inside that flag, a blue star. It is a white flag with a blue star, and that star is called the Star of David. So if you go and look at history will tell you that David was the champion of Israel. Why is he celebrated today? If he was just a normal guy, a person who just happened to pass by in his generation also, he wouldn't be celebrated the same way he is today. So there's a kind of impact that he made and left a legacy for his people. So if you take a closer look at how he lived, you would notice the same character traits he had with the same champions of today. It doesn't matter what kind of a field you're in, but the mentality is always the same. Champions are always aware. Champions are always conscious of their surroundings. Champions are always conscious of what they allow into their lifestyles, because it will definitely affect their future. Because whatever is in your mind will impact how you live today, also how you live tomorrow. Because it is very important to be conditioned by what you are going to become in the following today. So if you are careful into how you are picking your lifestyle and the kind of people that will influence your lifestyle, anyone can almost be certain of what you are going to become or what you are going to achieve by adopting a champion's mentality. What you see in the first display of his character, when the whole nation is faced with a challenge of almost falling into slavery. The Philistines, their enemies, are about to attack that nation and take them and force them into slavery. What happens is that David we find that he is very much aware of the strength of his enemies. He is also aware of his own strengths. We see him talking to Saul the king when they are faced by Goliath and challenging them into a fight, so that whoever comes out as a victor will be the automatic oppressor. Those were the conditions of the fight. And he goes on asking around, what shall be done for a man who will defeat that uncircumcised Philistine? What that should tell you, what that tells us, is that David is choosing to fight only a fight that is already predetermined in his mind. He knows the outcome, because by saying that Philistine is uncircumcised is saying that there's a certain amount of blood that hasn't come out of that man. So there's a life that is still remaining in him, because we all know that in the blood there is life. So that natural life of a natural man who has weaknesses and infirmities still hasn't come out of him. And he also asked, what shall be done for a man who should defeat that Philistine? Meaning, he is not interested in fighting battles that have no titles, battles that have no cups, battles that will not end up with crowns. So what is essentially saying is that I'm not going to waste my time and resources in a battle that is fruitless. Also, we see his strategy after approaching the giant Goliath is that he struck him in the head. It is the same strategy he has been using in the wild. When he was attacking the bear, he struck the bear in the head. When he was attacking the lion, defending the sheep, he attacked that lion in the head. Meaning, all the challenges that he's been facing, all the giants that he's been facing, he was able to solve those problems by facing the authority of that problem. So that tells us that a champion is not only just a man who chooses battles just for the sake of fighting, but they are careful about their own lifestyles, how disciplined they are, they know their strengths, and also they don't take their energies and resources and spend them on fruitless battles. I think that's the key. That's what we can pick from that young champion of that day, is that champions are conscious of their environments, and they are also very much aware of what they are doing, what they are spending when picking battles. They don't waste their time and resources on fruitless battles. Thank you and shalom.